Australia's renewable transition has hit a major hurdle. There's been a catastrophic failure in a $1 billion battery project north of Sydney. It's the biggest in the southern hemisphere. It's called the Waratah battery. It's owned by BlackRock and is considered critical infrastructure by the New South Wales state government. But it's now, quote, beyond repair. Let's bring in Trudy McIntosh now. Trudy, the failure of this project shows just how fragile this whole renewable transformation is. The failure of one project, even though it's a big one, means even the 2030 targets are unlikely to be met.
Well, there's question marks over whether those targets will be met, Laura. I'm sure the government will insist that they are still on track to meet them. This project, though, was once dubbed by the New South Wales government as essentially a shock absorber for the grid. The Waratah $1 billion super battery, helping to stabilise the electricity grid and unlock the role of renewables. It's the largest battery of its kind in the southern hemisphere, but the Financial Review reporting this morning that there's been a catastrophic failure of one of the site's transformers last month. While this was meant to be fully operational by towards the end of this year, that date has been pushed back. It's built on the site of an old coal-fired power plant on the New South Wales Central Coast. In essence, this is a poster child of what a good renewables project would look like, using an old site that had existing transmission lines, stabilising the grid and helping push forward Australia's renewable rollout. But as we see with this latest major hurdle at this project, Laura, it does just remind us of some of the big issues we're seeing with the renewable rollout, not just in terms of the politics, and we're seeing that on the other side, but also the practicalities of ensuring the lights stay on.
This will give those within the Liberals a bit of a boost when they're arguing to dump net zero, but it still remains the question whether it's smart politics to dump net zero when there's a lot of doubts whether any of these targets will be met anyway.
Yeah, there are big questions for Liberal MPs and senators to mull over, Laura. Over the space of the next 5 days, this is going to be quite the prolonged process for the Liberal Party to finally come to its position on a net zero target. For Susan Lee, the opposition leader, make no mistake, this is a high-stakes series of meetings as we are seeing MPs now publicly musing about whether she's the right leader to take the party forward. How this is going to play out tomorrow at midday, there is going to be a Liberal Party room meeting. There, MPs will be able to have their say on net zero. There may not necessarily be a vote at the end, though, to determine the policy. Instead, on Thursday at 9 a.m, there's going to be this full Liberal shadow ministry meeting, so a more a tighter group of Liberals who will actually formally lock in that position, having heard what their colleagues had to say a day prior. We'll see those 3 delegates from the Liberals, 3 from the Nationals come together to see if they can reconcile their positions before that joint party room meeting on Sunday. But this has, in essence, seemed to turn into a proxy leadership test for Susan Lee, even from those who supported her. Moderate Tim Wilson last hour on Sky News, using the word leadership dozens of times there. It seems setting up a test for Susan Lee to unify this party to ensure she can remain in that role. Have a look.
Is she the right leader to go forward for the Liberal Party?
That's what I'm looking for in the next coming days, but it's very clear to me that we need clear leadership to drive through this conversation. It's up to all of us to do that.
That doesn't sound like a key endorsement.
No, I'm happy to endorse the leader. That's not the issue. If we're just going to break into tribal parts without any acknowledgement of the responsibility we hold to each other, we are going to find ourselves boxed into a very difficult position.
Susan Lee derived her support when she won this leadership contest 6 months ago from essentially the moderate wing of the party, but it was a close contest with Conservative Angus Taylor. He this morning was on the Today Show and asked about this very question of leadership. Is he willing to rule out, give a guarantee that there's not going to be a challenge? Have a look.
I won't preempt the outcome of the party room, but I am very confident that we will move to apply Liberal values to solve the problem of getting emissions down and, most importantly, making sure that life is affordable again for Australians.
Will you categorically rule out a challenge to Susan?
It's not something we're planning. It's not something I'm focused on. I'm focused on what I just described.
Not something I'm planning, Laura. I've heard that form of words used many times in this place. There's a reason why this time of year is called the killing season in Canberra. That's not to say it's going to happen, but I think so much hinges on the outcome of these next few meetings. Can Susan Lee manage to bring together a moderate wing and a conservative wing that at the moment can't seem to see eye to eye?
Yeah, no plans. Heard that a couple of times before in many contexts. Trudy, thanks so much.